My name is Julia McHugh, and this is my final project for prototyping the user experience course. My product is a family travel planning website resource, and it's called Watch 'em Play Ball. The problem statement is Tiana is a busy working mom of two, loves the Washington Nationals, which is a Major League Baseball team. She needs a web resource tool to help her successfully learn to compare the team ballparks, locations, review areas, and the resources needs to make a decision on where and how to travel to a Major League Baseball game location. She needs to book tickets for the game, reservations for travel, find a close accommodations to stay in the park area. She wants to see her Washington Nationals play at an away ballpark, specifically Boston's Fenway Park. The goal is for her to learn, create, plan, and book the perfect baseball-themed family summer vacation experience for her husband and her family. The current challenges, pain points, so to say, it's difficult to plan a baseball-themed family trip to see your favorite Major League Baseball team or MLB play other teams around the country because there's so many different resources to review. Working with the travel budget and making comparisons on travel, accommodation, dates, it's overwhelming. Buying the tickets is easy online, but to make the travel plan, you have to consider your family, the budget, locations, food, lodgings for each one of the teams, which ballpark, city you want to go to. It's difficult. Each ballpark's location info is accessed across many different websites, and it's difficult to find information to plan and organize family vacation. If planning a trip, the person planning for the family needs to go to multiple websites for each of the game's locations, view the schedule of the games, who plays who, then find out simple things like the location of the ballpark, the address, close available accommodations, whether it's rental homes, condos, hotels, where the restaurants are, where to get food, maybe go to supermarkets, the drugstores, public transportation stations, where the airport, the train stations are, all around the city. Train shuttles, taxis, local bus and train transit systems, and stations. Having one place to go to access all the park's resources, view the schedules for upcoming games, information about each ballpark area, and get a grasp on all the information, feel confident enough in the end to follow through on a trip. It's important to feel confident enough to spend the funds to make the reservations, to actually complete trip planning, from buying those tickets to making the travel accommodations and committing. The target user. For obtaining user information for the design and requirements for the prototype travel planning tool, I spent some time talking to two people familiar with also Major League Baseball fans that were actually planning a family trip to a ballpark and had planned baseball-themed travel before. During these conversations, I learned their pain points. The main user explained that she had to access so many different resources to gather information all about the different areas that she was considering. This information includes that transportation to the region, travel around that ballpark city, public transportation, like I said earlier, hotel, food, restaurants, entertainment, and also finding out if there's any additional specific city features they might be interested in. Also, while doing the research and exploring, I learned there were other users that would be interested in watch and play ball sites users. They would benefit from creating a profile, having that capability on the web resource to help them save their search. Baseball fans that want to travel to see famous baseball parks and see famous teams play, these users also might want to use this tool to visit minor league teams and go for several days or even over months in each, maybe even annually, to see different games, maybe even monthly. I created a persona, family mom role. She's the trip planner of the family. This is Tiana. She wants to travel to a Major League Baseball park, learn all about the teams with the family. She goes to a lot of the Washington, D.C. home team Nationals games. She loves to see games. This year, she wants to go to Fenway Park to see the Red Sox play the Nationals, to play ball. She's an active life, jogs 3 miles a day. Daughter plays softball. She coaches her daughter's softball team. Her son's on the high school baseball team. She has a busy schedule, involved in sports, two children that are very active. She's a member of a softball team, plays second base on her corporate team, adult pitcher of the team before she had her family. She volunteers to referee many games at the Boys and Girls Club, and her husband has the similar interest in sports that she has. She's late 30s, female, education. She's a dental hygienist. She's married. She has two children. She lives in suburban Washington, D.C. Over here, her experiences, she wants to travel and to take a family baseball themed vacation. She wants to do it every year. I put together a user task list, what I thought my user would want to do. Open a website, go to the landing page, find out what is in the website, a big search for users who want to search on the games, put in available American Baseball League and baseball parks around the United States. I think it should also have a map view where you can have a detailed information, locate the region you might be wanting to travel to, put the dates in that you're looking, or browse them to find out what ballparks are in those areas and that you're interested in traveling. After you choose a park, you browse the tool, get a feel for what is available, and go on to the next phase. Link to accommodations. If you see hotels available listed, maybe Airbnb, vrbo.com in that area of the park, compare info, set up a search preferences, enter in information for your meals, entertainment, arcades, movies, state park amusements, shopping, for example, maybe Walmarts and grocery stores. You definitely want to have links to public transportation in the area, the routes, the bus routes, where the stations are, where the pickups are. Some areas might have Uber or Lyft, but some cities might rely on cabs or private transportation. Put in that schedule of the trip to view games during those times, and also have enough information to make decisions to make a plan. The design process. First part of the design process, I reviewed information from the perspective of an actual user in the product. This would be a travel planner creating a trip. Look at the different games available with their family, see why and how they would use it. I did a sketch for inspiration, sort of like ballpark ranks, actually. I chose what fonts I wanted to use, the colors, and then I sketched up based on the task list what pages I thought I would have. I researched several planning websites, created that task list on the previous page, collected information, compared games, hotels, prices, locations, enough information to help the target user planner create that trip. The next step was to create those thumbnails on the right. I used potential users' questions to help create that problem statement. Took the sketches, translated those sketches into that design pages for the first version in Balsamiq. After the base structure was created, I was able to add important features that I learned about from the travel web search and also my conversations with other planners. This helped connect the pages. Designing details that help this website be a tool that the target user would want to use was an important part of that process. Iterations from potential users and professional UX experts helped to develop a solid design for the final product. Over here, you can see I put together a design system with colors, sort of the look and feel of what I was expecting. And I ended up doing a logo, which I included here. The iteration one in Balsamiq basically was pretty lightweight. I put together based on those sketches. Ballpark page, the map view, master schedule, team location, and profile information. I get some feedback for the next iteration from two designers that peers at my work and had them review Watch and Play Ball with me. Their names are Steve Kuna, who is a designer of visualization, and Aaron Bergman, who is a human factors engineer. They suggested make sure I link to Google to have the Google search strong mapped information for the site to help users access the directions, GPS locations, all the other solid Google tools. Also that our search on the website would be Google powered to connect with all the information in all the ballpark areas. A link to connect website details to other ballpark cities. The city website for each one of these ballparks that may be tourism the city's helpful resources. Sometimes there's some free information. I changed the search features on the first page to be more general so users can plug in some basic keywords and start to gather information that the way they do things instead of asking specific questions of them in their search. They can explore and learn. Users know what they're looking for after they start to see more on the site. I changed the logo color from red. The word watch 'em was on a blue background. It's very bad to see, low visibility, poor contrast, not good for readability or accessibility. I put a white background with an edging on it, and that improved it very much. I worked on the spacing and the format, the grid to organize the pages, especially the detailed park page. I needed to align the top areas and also have clear search results. It might be out of scope, but creating the site would also encompass the minor league locations information, and I added a create a profile page with the choose your team pop-up. It needed a cancel button so that the profile person, if they decided they didn't want to create their profile, they could go back. And the detailed team description page needed a button that helped the user go back to the map, or in place of I had cancel. This allows the user to be controlled and have freedom to change their mind during the path. Here's the final mock-up, the ballpark landing page, the map paging, the master schedule, the choose by destination, and review your park team game. Once chosen a team and a game, to review what's needed to create the trip. Also a much more sophisticated profile account information. What I believe is the most helpful is right here. When you review the park information, you're able to plug all this in, do searches, make decisions on this location, and then add your other team to it. Final takeaways: watch and play ball is a Major League Baseball traveling panel. To the next steps for the portfolio project is to get additional feedback, link to more resources that would be helpful for a planner and keep them up to date, create a profile in Figma so that it'll be more easily accessed and understood by development team, upgrade the graphics and the colors, create a mobile version that a user could use while they are on a trip to access any of this information and possibly change it on the fly, create solid design system so the tool has mobile device instance. Sorry about that. Stakeholder note: feedback from a friend who has definitely used this tool to plan a trip. He also let me know that for the trip he's planning, personal reasons, may even be broader, to go to ballparks more than just as a fan. There are times it was not about the game or the team, but the experience of visiting a ballpark, having a ballpark experience with their family, even memories of childhood and early family years. Thank you very much.